Yo, what's good, y'all? So if you've ever done a live performance before, or you've ever been on stage, there's one thing that we all have in common, and that's being on that stage, rocking the mic, feeling like lyrically, you're killing it. You look good, killing it. Smell good, killing it. The mic volume, all that stuff, the atmosphere, killing it. But we've all experienced when all those things are going so well, and the crowd, they ain't making a sound. They ain't barely clapping, they barely looking at you. They are doing nothing. They're just unresponsive and some unattentive. So, what do you do? What do you do when you have an unresponsive crowd during your live performance? Well, today we're gonna have that discussion. Go ahead, hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the bell, and let's get to work. Salutes to that. Okay, before we really dive in, I want to make sure that I have a clear difference for you guys between people that are paying attention and are being responsive and people that aren't being responsive, right? So if you're performing and you've got people over here that are just having loud side conversations, right? Ain't looking at you, making snarky comments while you're on stage. Okay, those people, obviously, they're not the most responsive. They're not willing to take in what you putting down, right? They there for themselves, right? But then you have other people, right, that maybe they're not clapping as much as you want them to clap, or they're not doing as much as you want them to do, but they are paying attention to you. They are looking at you, right? They may not be dancing, but maybe they're tapping their feet under the table. And so I want you to be careful from assuming that just because you hear silence, right, that people don't like something. I just wanted to bring that up because that's super, super easy to assume when you're the one on the stage. Matter of fact, I'll give you a really, really simple example to drive this home. What if you're on stage performing and I'm in the crowd, right? I might be at a table directly in front of you, and I might be on my phone. Now, you could perceive this one or two ways, because either one or two things are happening. Either I'm on my phone because I'm ignoring you, right? I'm on my phone because, like, maybe I don't feel like your music's good enough, or I don't like the performance, or maybe you just don't have enough energy to really catch my attention, right? Maybe the song's good, but maybe your energy's not there. That could be happening. I could be intentionally, ignoring you, or, and this is the side that I don't think many artists consider, I could be on my phone because I like what I hear from you, and I heard you say your name during the performance, and I'm looking you up. I'm looking you up on Apple Music. I'm looking you up on Spotify. I'm trying to find you on IG. I'm trying to find you on TikTok. Just like that. You see how that can be perceived differently based on the way that you're thinking? Again, just be careful, because how that can be perceived from one person can be different from another person, or it could just be different from what reality actually is. Now, the other thing that I would say very, very quickly for artists, and artists, please do not take this personally. It is not the job of the crowd to bring the energy for the venue. It's not the crowd or the audience's job to set the tone for the event. That's your job. That's your job. Regardless of, I'm gonna talk from me. I don't care how many people are there. I don't care what mood they're in. When I hop on the stage, I'm coming with the energy. So if they weren't ready, they about to be ready for what I'm coming with. And it needs to be the exact same way when you perform. Sometimes I see artists that they plan on feeding on the crowd, and when the crowd is not what they expect, then the artist, the musician, their performance goes like this, and then like this, and then like this. So do not allow the crowd to be the tone setter. You set the tone for the event. Now, a quick side note, there are gonna be some people, I gotta make this clear, there are gonna be some people that show up to an event and they're just not gonna respect what you do. It happens to all of us. It happens to the best of us. I mean, there are people that are assigned to major labels, people that have, Grammys and music awards and have charted, and they still have haters. So if they have haters, what makes you think that you're not going to, right? So I'm just letting you know, there are gonna be times where people just don't rock with you, not because you were bad or that your music was bad or anything like that. They are what they are. Okay, now there is a reason, something that I have seen. There is a reason why I do notice that people are unresponsive to artists. And a lot of musicians wonder about this, like, why are people unresponsive? Didn't you come to the show to be entertained? And yeah, that's true, they did. But there is one thing I have noticed that artists do that we are really, really, really bad at. And that's making too many requests. For those of you that have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm gonna use an example of this, and hopefully it becomes pretty clear what I mean.
Yeah, 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 clap your hands, clap your hands, clap your hands, now jump, 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 now jump, 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 now jump, 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 now, hey, 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 hey.
2 hours later.
And now, rub your tummy and pat your head on the head and, keep moving. This is song 30, but y'all should still have the energy, right? Yeah.
Get my point? Now, for those of you that are wondering, like, all right, Sarge, I got your points, but if I have a responsive crowd, what's a tip or a trick that I can do to get them back? Well, I'll give you an example of something I did. I had a show in which people were fairly silent. Actually, I was in a new spot, and no one knew who I was. I didn't really know anyone in there. So what I did was I asked a random question, right? And it was something along, like, I had multiple questions that I asked, but it could be based off the area of, like, hey, who's a fan of this artist? Who's a fan of this sports team? Or did anybody listen to that new album by such and such, right? And the very first person that responds, or at least loud enough to where I recognize I hear a response, I'm like, wait, who was that? Oh, hey, you? Hey, real quick, come here real quick. And then I throw them a t-shirt, free t-shirt. Now all of a sudden, everyone else in the room is like, yo, wait, who is this? He giving out merch? That's a quick way to get people's attention. So the next time I said something during the show, like, hey, how y'all doing? Then it was different. I had a couple more people chiming in and a couple more people that were attentive and wanting to talk to me because they're like, hey, I want him to give me something free. You know what I'm saying? So that's a quick trick. Also, if you're on stage and you don't feel like people are as attentive, especially during one of your hype songs, man, hop off the stage. Make sure you know your lyrics if you're going to be rapping in front of people. But yeah, hop off the stage, sit next to someone, stand by them, rock by them. If they're on their phone or whatever, like, kind of grab their phone and like rap into their phone as you're doing it. Basically do what you need to do to get their attention. But these are things that you can do. I don't know, how do you guys feel about these tips? If you rock with the video, go ahead and hit that like button and the subscribe button and the bell so you get notified every time I drop a new video. Also, if there's a particular topic you want me to talk about, go ahead, throw it in the comment section. I do read my comments and I will get back to you ASAP. And as always, be you, enjoy your life, and live authentic. Salutes to that, and I'll catch y'all later.